Welcome back. You're still watching Rapid On right here on Rapid Television. Of course, thank you to Victor Ijoma for the sports updates. My name is Victor. Okay.
And my name is Martha Alu. Good morning to you, and we hope that you've been having an amazing morning so far. Of course, at 9 o'clock, you know how we do it here. It's basically the big conversations, and today is definitely one that you will want to be a part of, because I think we'll be doing a lot of clarifications and a lot of questioning. So we hope that our guest is ready for this.
Definitely. And of course, we're traveling down to Anambra State, where the people of Anambra will go to the polls on November 9th to choose their next governor. As always, the political temperature in the state is rising. The ruling ABGA wants to stay in power. The PDP is working hard to win back the trust of voters. And the APC, Nigeria's ruling party at the federal level, says it is ready to take charge in Anambra for the first time. But beyond the politics, there are real questions people are asking. Who are the candidates really? What do they stand for? And can this election bring real change to the lives of the people of Anambra State? And today we'll take a closer look at the parties, the candidates, and of course, what's at stake as Anambra decides its future. And of course, this is about the Anambra election in focus. And joining us today to have the conversation is Dr. Francis Okoye, a public affairs analyst and member of the APC National Campaign Council for the Anambra governorship election 2025. Dr. Okoye, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Victor. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
Yeah. Now let's look at the political, tempo in Anambra State. What would you make of it so far?
Anambra State is already charged. Charged in the sense that the electioneering and political process is gearing to a crescendo, because the election is just this coming Saturday. We have more than 15 governorship candidates contesting the election. But as it is today, it is a two-horse race. Two-horse race between the APC candidate, Prince Dr. Nicholas Okachubu, and the ABGA sitting governor, ABGA candidate, Professor Charles Soludo. These are the two key people who are running the election in Anambra today.
Right. What about the Labour Party candidate?
And the PDP candidate.
And the PDP candidate as well.
The Labour Party candidate is not on ground. In fact, Anambra people are not even aware that Labour is running in that election. Then talk of PDP. PDP candidate, in fact, PDP is like a dead party in Anambra and in Nigeria. In fact, the candidate of PDP, many Anambrarians do not even know his name. He has not even gone to campaign in a day. In fact, in 1 minute, he has not gone to campaign anywhere in 1 minute.
The PDP
so
candidate?
he's not on the race. Yes, the PDP candidate.
But the Labour Party candidate has constantly been campaigning, yet you say that he
has been Labour Party candidate. George Morale has equally been campaigning schemishly, but you can't say that he's on ground in Anambra. I'm telling you,
what's the definition of being on ground?
When you mention somebody's name among the electorate, not only in the media, and you mention like 10 names, and people will tell you this is the only 2 names I know of running the election. It goes a long way to show how the people of Anambra State are seeing the election.
Is it based on names or based on the party?
Media, equally on ground.
On ground.
Not because of name. Not because of name. George Morale, as we know, was a former NIWA director.
Yes.
George Morale, as we know, was a former nation auditor of APC, my party, because it was APC that he left and joined the Labour Party. So he has made a name for or carved a niche for himself. So to me, it's not about himself as an individual, but all about the way the Anambra people see the parties contesting and see him contesting in the race, the type of thing he tells the Anambrarians, the way, the outlook. These are things Anambra people are looking at.
All right.
So it is a two-horse race.
Before we go on, I would say that is quite arguable. Especially because you said it's not about the media and what is being said about the media, it's what happens on ground. And I'll give you an example of the 2023 presidential election, where we had the presidential candidate still from the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who gathered a lot of support and was one of the most popular people online and on ground. Yet he didn't emerge winner of that 2023 presidential election. But right now you claim that because when you mention 10 candidates, 2 of the candidates are the most popular candidates that would be known by. Okay, those are the people that would be known by Anambarians. Don't you think that that's such an audacious claim?
It is very audacious, and I can defend it anywhere. See, Peter Obi running for presidency, being popular on ground and equally popular on the media, cannot be compared with what is happening in Anambra State today. See, Anambra is a peculiar state. Anambra is a state where, before we vote in any election, forget the razzmatazz, the noise you hear prior before the election. Few days or few weeks to election, you will decide by yourself from what is happening in Anambra, who between this and this, where the election may go. If any of these 2 people do not emerge on that election day, after the election, I mean Nicholas Okachibu or Soludo, if any of them do not emerge, then I don't think I will come to this studio again. That is the promise I'm making.
Why
the election is between the 2 of them. It has been zeroed down.
That's not for you to decide.
I'm coming. I'm an Anambrarian.
That's not for you to decide.
Wait, I'm an Anambrarian. I'm on ground in Anambra. I go to Anambra almost on a 2-week basis. I'll go to Anambra tomorrow. Today will be my last day in Abuja before the election. Tomorrow I'll be on ground in Anambra campaigning for my candidate. Yesterday, now let me give you a shocker. Yesterday, the peace committee, you know, prior to every election, the peace committee will call all the candidates, assemble them in a room, make them to append their signatures towards a peace deal to ensure that the election remains peaceful during and after. So all the candidates came to that, almost all the candidates came to that peace meeting yesterday. The only people both in the media and on ground we are talking about, we are Soludo. Go and look at the pictures being shared all over the media.
He's the current governor of the state.
I'm telling you, the only people. I said 2. I called 2. My candidate is not the current governor, but his pictures and his what happened at the event from his side and from the side of Soludo, we are the only things you see on the media. Tell me any picture of George Moore, the Labour Party candidate that you see there, or even the YPP, or even the PDP. Anambra people know that the election is between these 2 people.
Does that mean Anambra people like people who partake in electoral malpractices? Because it was on the news last week that the likes of Charles Soludo came to claim that he was going to encourage, voter apathy, and he was going to, with a sum of money, I think about 10 million naira or a little over that. 1 million ahead. Is it 1 million? He was going to give that amount of money to anyone who came out to vote. And you are boldly saying that the people of Anambra, that's the only person that they know. Someone who has.
I didn't say Soludo was the only. Put me correctly.
Those are the 2 people.
I said 2.
Yes.
Kachupu and Soludo.
Okay.
These are the only 2 people that we know that are running elections seriously in Anambra today. And that election must go between Soludo and Nicholas Okachibu. Now, thank God you raised this issue of about vote buying. I'm a political scientist. I'm a realist. I am one who believes that for you to throw in your towel and demand for a second term, people should be assessing you based on what you have achieved or what you have done in your first time, particularly as regards what you promised during the campaign. Soludo promised Anambrarians many things that he never achieved up to 20%, and he has already stayed 3 years and 7 months in office. That is why he is looking for the only escape route for him to win that election is using Anambra's hard-earned money, our scarce resources, to buy votes on election day. Thank God you are the one that raised it, not me as an opposition person. So many people have condemned that action of the governor going to campaign and telling people, I will give you money, I will give you anyone that gets so and so vote, 5 million, 2 million, 3 million, and stuff like that. That is not how to do an election. A governor that has performed well should, whenever he goes to campaign, will be telling people, I promise you A, I have done A, or I promise you A, I have done half of the A, remaining the other half. But Soludo promised Anambrarians. Now, let me give you one of the slogans he was telling us during campaign, that he will make Anambra African Dubai, Taiwan. We are looking for a corker. We are looking for, let Anambra look like a typical state where you can say, yes, there is adequate security, the adequate infrastructure, all the roads Soludo constructed in Anambra State, all of them, just the few rains that we had few weeks ago in Anambra, washed off most of the roads Soludo constructed. The videos are all over the media because he is not using good contractors, quality contractors to execute roads in Anambra State. He has constructed a lot of roads. I give him credit to that. But what is the quality? Do you know the roads constructed by Ngige? Ngige left office over 21 years ago. Mind you, he came to office 2023. Ngige left office over 21 years ago. Do you know the roads constructed by Ngige are still of good quality, motorable in Anambra till today? That's why when Ngige was in office, we used to call him Action Governor, because Ngige will award a road contract to you. He will wear trouser, wear short knicker, go to the site using his walking stick, digging the quality of the roads to know whether you still executed as planned, as agreed in the contract terms. But Soludo will just be laissez-faire. In fact, he's awarding contracts to his stooges, friends, and allies. And that is why they are not giving us quality roads. Anambra, as at today, should be one of the states that have the highest level of quality roads in the southeast, or even in Nigeria. Because Ngige has laid the foundation, Peter Obi came and did a little on that foundation you laid. I mean, in terms of road infrastructure. Okay. Is it health infrastructure? Ngige was is a medical doctor. Ngige did well in the health sector. But since Peter Soludo took office, what we have been hearing in the health sector is not palatable. To the extent that most of the health sector workers wanted to go on strike the other day before he now called them and started assuaging their feelings. What are we saying? Insecurity in Anambra State. It is only under the tenure of Governor Soludo that 2 sitting members of Anambra State House of Assembly were kidnapped, maimed, and killed on a broad daylight. Kidnapped. Their bodies later found decomposing. Just so that is it not a level of insecurity in Anambra?
Just so we don't go on and on having this conversation here. You have said Ngige did this, you know, Peter Obi came and built on it, Soludo is doing nothing about it. Now, your principal, who is Mr. Ukachukwu, came out and boldly stated that no governorship candidate in Anambra State has ever won elections without his influence. That's one question. You now are castigating the people that your principal brought into office. He's the one who brought them in. So did he vouch for them without knowing what they are capable of doing? Because now if you are trying to use that to score points, saying that, you know, they didn't do anything, your principal is coming, he's going to come and do something. But he's the one who consistently have given these people the opportunity to get into office according to him. That's one. Secondly, he boldly claimed outside that he's the godfather, and now no longer wants to be a godfather, wants to be the father, wants to be in the race. How can we trust such a person who has supported bringing men who are incapable of handling an Anambra State into office? How can we now bring
according to the things that you said?
How can we now sponsor someone who has children who are not well behaved? How can we bring the father to office?
Listen, let me use myself as an example. Okay. I won't mention it on the studio here not to offend some people. There are people I have supported politically to win an election, and when they go into office, I now observe that what I saw in them that made me supported them was not actually what we are seeing. See, the issue of Nicholas Ukachukwu supporting many of these people that have ruled Anambra State, using Soludo as a case study, is not a reason for you to say that Ukachukwu cannot do well if he enters, because he enters, because he has supported. The same mistake over 4 times. I'm coming. Soludo, for instance, you yourself, when Soludo was running an election, if you look at all the litany of aspirants running that election with Soludo, you yourself, who is not even from Anambra, will readily cast your vote for Soludo. Why? Because Soludo came from a background of excellence, background of competence, from a high tower of a former CBN governor, from a high tower of a former economic advisor to the president, from a high tower of a man who has held many positions in the international community. Why wouldn't people say that he would do well? But unfortunately, we have seen that the test of the pudding is in the eating. And Soludo has proven to us that he's one of the worst mistakes Anambrarians have made politically in an electoral contest. By making him governor. Made the same mistake over 5 times. It's not only Soludo. Wait, like I told you, myself have also made such mistakes. Was Tinubu not supporting Buhari? Was Tinubu not part of those that made Buhari president? Will you now say because Buhari did not do well, you now say Tinubu shouldn't have been elected? You would have said he wouldn't have casted, some of us that casted a vote for Tinubu wouldn't have done that. See, it's not enough for you to accuse the person that brought the so-called person or supported the person of being responsible of the inadequacy, incompetence of the person in power.
It's not an accusation.
It's not enough.
Once it's a mistake, 2 times it's a mistake, 3 times cannot be a mistake.
It's not enough.
4, 5 times is now a pattern.
Nicholas Okachupu is an entrepreneur, a businessman.
So why does he want to be in office?
I'm coming, I will tell you that one. And when some of these people approach him that they are running for election, he will analyze them and say, okay, I will support so and so person. Supporting Soludo in the last election was not a mistake on his part. That is the simple truth. Now he coming to throw in his towel. Like I'm equally going to use Tinubu again as an example. Tinubu has been producing leaders, producing people who have been occupying positions of governors, whatever and whatever, president. And now he said, I want to become president. Let me go and use my experience, competence, and correct some of those things I think some of those people I supported did not do. That is what Nicholas Okachupu is going to do. Look at our campaign slogan. It is broken, we will fix it. That is Nicholas Okachupu's slogan. Soludo broke it.
Who brought
Soludo broke Anambra. Wait. Soludo broke Anambra's infrastructure, broke Anambra's security, broke Anambra's health sector, broke Anambra. See, when Governor Peter Obi was in power, Peter Obi, Anambra used to come first in WAEC, NECO and JAMB and every other of these exams. But since Soludo came on board, we hardly come third. That is the brokenness we are talking about. So what I'm saying in essence is that this Nicola, have you read about Nicola's CV? Have you read about his track record?
This is a man. You just said it by yourself that Soludo. I'm not getting it wrong. You said by yourself that Soludo. No, you said by yourself that Soludo has quite a remarkable CV.
I'm coming.
And Soludo has underperformed.
I'm coming. You didn't allow me. You didn't even allow me to talk about the CV I'm talking about.
Because
I'm not talking about CV of education.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
This is an entrepreneur.
Okay.
This is a businessman.
Okay.
This is a real estate mogul who has done exceedingly well in the private sector. Tell me any position Soludo has held in the private sector. All Soludo's life has been about public sector. These are two different individuals. This is a man who has run one of the biggest real estate companies, real estate developing companies in Abuja and in Nigeria.
Dr. Koye,
I'm coming now. You people should allow me now.
No, you will
allow me because I want to differentiate between Soludo and my organic Okachupu.
You are trying to alienate me.
I'm coming. When somebody has done well in managing his private business,
right,
I think it is onus on us to give him our mandate for him to use that ability, the competence with which he exuded in managing that private business to come and manage, because leadership is about business.
All right. Now,
governance is business, serious business.
You've made that point. And again, you brought the comparison from Soludo down to your principal, Okachupu. And you said Soludo has occupied public offices, which means to an extent he has an experience in the public space.
Exactly.
Which governance is all about serving the public. Your principal is coming from the private sector, moving to the public space. What makes you think that he has more experience, that he has more strategies than a Soludo who has been in office who has been in public office, started from the banking industry, now he's governor of Anambra State. Now you're doing that comparison from private sector to public sector. How does that?
And just to add what you said, Victor, what is the business of an entrepreneur and a businessman with a political office? These are two very different things.
Very disparate.
Wait. When you are an entrepreneur or a businessman and you have industries lined up or littered in the state you want to govern, see, as you're a governor, you will do everything within your power to make sure that, one, there is security, because the first thing a governor or any president or any elected or public office holder should look for in governance is security of lives and property. If that one is assured, every other thing can align. Now, this is a man who I told you has companies littered all over Anambra State, Southeast and Nigeria. I mean my Oga, Prince Nicholas Okachupu, the APC governorship candidate for Anambra November 8 governorship election. Now, if he enters office, he will do everything to protect that state, taking into cognizance, taking into the fact that his own personal company, business concerns are in that state. Soludo, since he became a human being, has not had even any private company. Not even. I'm coming now. Wait, allow me now. He has not. Does not have. I said he came from a public sector, not private sector. So somebody that has not had even one private company that is even worth just 100,000 naira. How can he manage Anambra well? Because Soludo feels that if he finishes as governor, he will leave the state and go and live abroad.
But many governors
knows that he has a stake in Anambra because his companies are there. So he will work to protect it by making sure that Anambra is well secured. So that is number one.
He has a stake to protect.
Yes, he has a stake. That is what I mean.
We have many governors in various parts of Nigeria that are not business owners, that have occupied the governorship positions in their various states. And they've performed optimally without having businesses in their states. So you are saying right now that the very reason that your principal wants to contest for office is because he has his businesses that he wants to protect in Anambra. If not for the fact that he has businesses in Anambra State, are you saying that he wouldn't be able, or he wouldn't even think about contesting, as a governorship candidate for the Anambra people?
I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that was the only reason. We were trying to compare Soludo's public sector capacity and Nicholas Okachukwu's private sector capacity. That is the comparison we did there. Not that the only reason why he's coming to see. This is a man who has said it in many fora. Anambra is a state known for commerce and industry. Do you know that since Soludo became governor, he has not attracted even one private companies to Anambra State?
In the past 4 years?
I'm telling you, the first idea. He has not brought any private sector industry or company in Anambra State for them to establish their company and employ our children. So how can you return such a person as a governor? Now, what I'm saying in essence is that if Nicholas Ukachukwu entered there, part of what is in Nicholas Ukachukwu's manifesto is make Anambra State an industrial hub, so that companies can come in, our children, teeming youths who are unemployed, can be gainfully employed, and hunger and poverty will be reduced to the barest minimum.
Which is more like the promise of almost every politician. Who talks about anyone who comes into office will tell you that they want to create employment for their
First
people.
of all, you ask that person, have you done it for yourself?
Soludo
has a record for doing it for himself in the private sector. Soludo has no such record in the private sector. That's what I'm saying.
This comparison, Soludo says the record speaks for himself in Anambra State. You talked about some of the roads that Soludo made, and you said some of those roads have been washed off, which of course you also agree that those were not the only roads that were washed off. He also has, you gave him kudos for those infrastructure projects.
Exactly.
And he said his project speaks for himself: road infrastructure, education, and local reforms. And this, some will argue that these are some of the basics of governance as it is.
Soludo has not done well in any of these sectors you mentioned. Education, infrastructure. I'm a typical, in fact, I am a local man at that. Anytime I go to Anambra State, I take time to tour some of the acclaimed projects that Soludo. Now, let me give you another shocker. In 3 years and 7 months ago, when Soludo came into office, he went to a town called Ogidi. That Ogidi town is always been ravaged by flood. Flood always, anytime there is a small rain or big rain, people's houses will be drenched with flood. So, immediately Soludo entered office. The very moment he entered office, he went to that Ogidi Aziz and said, I will fix it. That was the grammar he used. That within the next 3 months, I will fix this flood issue. I'll bring in international companies that are good in channeling drainages very well, so that they will correct this mistake, so that this thing will not happen again. Do you know that just 2 weeks ago, the same governor that made this promise of fixing it in 3 months, almost 4 years ago, went to the same place again 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago. What did he say? Because that flood has persisted. Do you know that Soludo opened his mouth in that very Ogidi Aziz and said that, unfortunately, the company awarded this contract 3 years ago could not be able to do a good job. So I am promising you again now that if you vote me, during my second term, I'll fix it. Something you couldn't fix in your first term. Remember, I told you he went there the first month of his entering office. So you couldn't do it, and now you're already 3 years and 7 months in office.
Mr. Kafo, let me interject you.
What promise are you giving them again? This is a promise and fair governor. He has not kept any of the promises he made to Anambra when he was elected. That is the truth.
Let me just interject you there.
Thank you.
You made mention of the fact that he had gone there before. In fact, from the start of this conversation, you said that the people of Anambra State do not recognize anybody other than Soludo and Ukachukwu.
Yes.
These two people.
Yes.
This is the same Soludo you have claimed have performed poorly in government consistently.
Yes.
And according to you, has no track record in developing education, healthcare, economic growth of the people of Anambra State. How come is he emerging as one of the top candidates?
I'll answer that credibly. Look at why he's among the... See, there is nothing you will ever do in politics, especially in this part of our climb, I mean Africa, that you will ever remove an incumbent. In anything you are doing, permutation, whatever, you must add an incumbent in whatever year. Why did I say that? He controls the state power, the state resources. Now let me give you a shocker. Election was conducted last I think 2 months or a month ago. I mean, Anambra South, the seats occupied by Senator Ifeanyi Oba that was declared vacant and by-election conducted. Do you know that APGA used 30,000 is on the media to buy a vote in that election?
Yes.
My party could not spend any 1 naira on any voter.
We had that conversation here.
So I'm telling you, so if the governor could use such amount to buy votes, people have already been impoverished. The governor has impoverished the preponderance of Anambra people. So most of them are waiting for the money he will share on election day. Thank God you were the one that said it, that he said he will share money that day. So what are we saying?
Okay.
So Soludo must be in contest. You cannot say, come out here and say that the 2 major people contesting at so without mentioning Soludo. Soludo must be part of, because of the incumbency, because of the money he's going to share.
All right, so let me just ask you a question. On the 15th of September 2025, it was published across platforms or read platforms that your principal, who you claim to have excelled exceedingly well in business, was embarrassed at Transcorp Hilton for a debt of $1 billion. Please, what comment do you have to say about that? Seeing as you have constantly made mention of the fact that he has excelled in business, this is what he's bringing to the people of Anambra State. And you know as much as I do that one of the major problems that is being highlighted by political office holders in Nigeria is the fact that they embezzle funds. And some of these funds are embezzled because of things like this. You have your personal debt that you have unsettled. This is just last 2 months now, right? This is just last month, and he's looking at getting into office in November. How does he plan, if he wins the election, how does he plan to clear out the debt of $1 billion before he assumes position to start working for the people of Anambra State without embezzling the funds of the state to clear out his debt?
If somebody is owing you 1 billion naira, will you use ring lights, four phones, because I went there that day? Will you use 4 phones and ring lights to go and get your 1 billion naira debt?
If it has lingered for so long and the person is not paying attention, or
if
the body language of the person,
if anybody is owing me such amount of money, I know what to do to get my money. Not using ring lights. See, what happened that day, we know what happened. It was a political propaganda initiated by Governor Soludo. Soludo is afraid of losing this election to Nicholas Okachukwu. Prince Nicholas Okachukwu is not owing anybody. If that person is being owed, let him. Why has he not gone to the media to say it since that day?
Why did he
He has debunked it. Now maybe you people didn't get it. We debunked it the following day.
Okay.
I am part of the media team of Nicholas Okachukwu. Okay. I can send it to you if I leave the studio.
So the person
it was fabricated. It was planned by APGA. In fact, do you know a shocker? The news was immediately the thing happened at Transcorp. I was in Transcorp that day. Immediately the thing happened at Transcorp. 2 minutes after it happened, the person that first reported it in the media was the secretary to the state government of Anambra State. 2 minutes after it happened.
What legal action?
So who sent him the video?
What legal action was taken towards that?
The matter is already in court.
Okay.
As we speak now.
Okay.
My guy has taken them to court.
Okay.
I mean the person that embarrassed him.
The person who embarrassed him.
He's a propaganda from the APGA government.
So Dr. Okoye, now some talks in Anambra State says that the politicians there are corrupt. Now you've mentioned the issue of vote buying, which some says that Governor Soludo is corrupt. Now, you've also talked about your candidate. Simple question. Is the APC candidate corrupt?
He's not corrupt. Nicholas Okachukwu is not corrupt. And I can say it anywhere without, as in missing words in saying it.
Well, he supported corrupt leaders.
You keep mentioning to me.
Because that's trajectory.
Soludo, I'm coming. Soludo, as far as I'm concerned, has not been adjudged to be corrupt. So that Nicholas Okachukwu supported Soludo before, and Soludo is now messing up. It's not enough reason to call Soludo corrupt.
No, Dr. Koye, hold on, Dr. Koye.
I'm an opposition. I'm coming. I'm an opposition. I cannot, in all confidence in this studio, and call Soludo a corrupt man.
But
I can only call him a non-performer.
You brought to fact that during the by-election in Anambra State, that Soludo shared 30,000 naira
to buy votes.
APGA shared. You can differentiate between APGA and Soludo.
So
if you sue, there are certain things we don't talk on the media. If you sue Soludo to court now that he shared money, you will bring evidence to prove it that he shared money. You can only say the party shared. It's like saying APC shared. You can't say Nicholas Okachukwu shared. Will you bring evidence to show that it was Nicholas Okachukwu that shared the money?
But it was under his control for his election. For his election.
Let me ask you this other question.
Yes.
Now you've brought party and differentiated between party and personality. Now you said Abga shared 30,000 naira.
Yes.
And you said the principal is not corrupt. Will APC...
My principal is not corrupt.
Why didn't he kick against him?
You said that.
When the 30,000 was being shown, why didn't he kick against him?
I am one person who always tells truth to power.
Yes.
I remember in many media fora where I have told my president, Tinubu, I'm a major APC stakeholder, but I've come on many studios, even in this your studio, to say that Tinubu is not doing well in so and so area. I don't, because I belong to APC, if I see things going wrong there, I will now cover it. No, it's like this issue of, well, let's not go there because that's not our topic.
Here's my question, Dr. Koye. Will APC be sharing money for vote buying come November 9th?
We will not be sharing money. We will only, we've been doing it already by telling Anambrarians, look at the track record of who we are presenting, our candidates. Look at what APC manifesto and our candidates blueprint is talking about. Voters, Soludo did not do well here. We will do well there. Soludo did not do well here. We will do well there. This is what we can do for Anambra. If on Saturday Anambrarians key into our programs, our vision for a new Anambra State and support us, we will win that election free, fair, and credible.
All right, we'll be having a conversation with Dr. Francis Okoye, a major APC stakeholder, and of course one of the leading voices for the Anambra election come on November 9th, 2025. And right now it will be time for us to go on a break, and we'll come back with depth straight into the conversation even deeper, talking about the preparation of INEC, for the governorship election in Anambra State. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Rapid Done right here on Rapid Television, and we've been having our guest, Dr. Francis Okoye, an APC chieftain. We've been talking about the Anambra governorship election coming up on November 9th, 2025. As a matter of fact, this week Saturday, and we've been asking questions concerning the Anambra State election. But now, let's now move to INEC's readiness. Now, we've heard INEC say severally that they are ready for the election in Anambra State come this Saturday. From the look of things in Anambra State, is INEC truly ready, starting from the security, voter education, and their preparedness in general?
Yes, INEC is ready. The other time I was telling somebody was asking me, which the removal or the end of tenure of Professor Mahmood, and that this Professor Asopitan taking over just few weeks to Anambra governorship election, won't it affect the preparation? I told the person no. Why did I say that? Because I know INEC under Professor Mahmood, the immediate past INEC chairman, had what I call strong bureaucratic leadership. This is a man who, while he was INEC chairman, was able to make the bureaucracy of INEC so strong that whether the INEC chairman is there or not, things will still go on well, because the bureaucracy, the administrative part of the leadership of INEC are very strong, that without the head there, everything will be going on well. So the REC for Anambra State has always come out on the media to brief the people on the preparedness of INEC for the Anambra November 8 governorship poll. And I believe them that they are prepared in terms of logistics, in terms of security. In fact, the IG of police the other day made an announcement that is very critical, which I think all parties involved have to obey for that election to be fruitful and peaceful. what was the IG statement? The IG said that there is one group in Anambra, is like a state militia police set up by Governor Soludo to ensure that he tackled the insecurity in Anambra State. It is called Agune Chamber and that Kodo group. So this group of people were used to manipulate that senatorial by-election. So the IG now made a statement, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, that those groups have been barred from participating in the election, that they wouldn't want to see them anywhere near the polling units. And that is a good step in the right direction, because since they were set up by APGA or by the state government, there is that possibility that they will work for them. So in order to ensure the neutrality of INEC's election, they should stay away. The only people expected to be at the polling unit in terms of security are those federal security agencies like police, DSS or what have you. I don't think Army should be there on election day, because we are not in a war time. So I think so far INEC has done a lot in terms of preparation. Some of the parties were called the other day to come and inspect some of the materials that are going to be used to conduct the election, because some of them, I mean, the non-sensitive material have already started
distributed
arriving in Anambra State. So
right.
far, so good. Their preparation is, to the best of our knowledge in APC, very credible.
Very credible. All right. Now, you happen to be part of the people that constitute the campaign, team for the APC's gubernatorial candidate of Anambra State. And there was a publication that talked about Chris Ngige coming out and warning, his team rather, coming out and warning that the APC should refrain from using his name in their campaign materials. Why did you think that it was important to include Ngige's picture or name or whatever in your campaign, and why was due process not followed to inform such a person before using him to campaign for the APC?
Like I told you earlier, a lot of things are happening in Anambra. A lot of propaganda, skirmishes, calumny everywhere. That said publication that Ngige's picture or name was used were never originated from our own Nicholas Okachukwu Anambra APC campaign. It never. It was Abga people in their form of propaganda that dished out that item or that material and started spreading. A lot is happening. Now let me give you another example. I'm coming. Let me give you another example.
Okay.
Yesterday, during this peace accord, our deputy governorship candidate, Senator Uche Ekunife, was asked to go and represent our principal, Prince Nicholas Okachukwu, at that peace signing meeting, because Okachukwu was to fly from Abuja to Anambra to go and attend the peace accord. Unfortunately, he said he was thinking that he may not get to Anambra before time. He now asked the deputy to go there and represent him. Then, before the deputy could reach the venue, Okachukwu, luckily for him, had flew in from Abuja straight to Anambra Airport and went straight and still met them. In fact, he arrived the venue before the person he even asked to go and represent the deputy governorship candidate. So when the deputy governorship candidate entered the venue and I saw his bro, he was like, oh, wow, you're already here. Okay, I had 3 places I selected to go for campaign. I mean, Uche Ekunife, let me now go and attend to you. Since you are here, you can now cover the show since you are here already. Do you know what Abga did? Just immediately after this incident, Abga now went and conjured one video and started sharing on internet that my principal, Nicholas Okachukwu, and the deputy were quarreling at that peace accord. It's on the media.
Did they quarrel?
Which quarrel?
Did they exchange words?
They didn't. My principal didn't even talk. He just came through his back and whispered, oh, since you are here, let me now. He said, okay, go.
But since you are...
So how can people be conjuring many things and spread? See, in Apga, they are known for propaganda.
Wow.
If you want me to mention 2 heads of propaganda in Apga, we see when you don't have anything to tell the people, you go about propaganda.
APC is not, that's what I'm asking. APC is not involved in propaganda.
No, as far as APC Anambra is concerned, we are not using any kind of propaganda in this election. We are
or they are just not visible. Or they are just not visible.
No, it's not an issue about being visible.
Okay.
As a typical Anambrarian, see, how I wish this thing would have been a situation where an Abga person will be here I, as a APC person, will be here. I would have loved this debate.
Okay.
So that we'll be telling the truth to ourselves on our faces.
Before we even go on to that, since you are debunking everything that APGA had presented as a case that is filed against you, the APC, I also did see another publication, because we follow up with these publications, and you cannot almost always say that all of these publications are false.
Which one?
I'm talking about the one that says that the deputy gubernatorial candidate for Anambra State falsified his result. Now, APGA has called for INEC to look into that, you know, the falsification of certificate. Remember, we had an APC person also recently been, I don't want to say chased out of office, because it was, the whole entire picture was painted as though he walked away from the office. He resigned from the office just because he was found guilty. Hold on. And that was published and said the deputy gubernatorial candidate of the APC, which is your principal's running mate, right, falsified his certificate. Is that also false?
It's false, total false. Now, why did I say so? Okay. This is a woman. Senator Uche Ekwenyife is a household name in Anambra, Nigeria, and Southeast politics. This is a woman who has run 5 elections in her lifetime. 1 term. She has been a member of the House of Representatives twice. She has been a senator. So if this woman has forged certificates in all of these elections she's contested, she threw in or submitted all her credentials. So INEC or any other person within those period did not in any way see that some of these certificates he was submitting, because Soludo said that Uche Ekwenyife had no BSc, had no MSc, and had no PhD, that she is parading for PhD. Soludo dismissed all these 3 things. Now Uche Ekwenyife went to the media and brought out all her certificates, put it on the media, including NYSC, including the PhD, including that of University of Calabar and Nandasiwa University Oka. All of them are in the media. So if they are fake and somebody like Uche Ekwenyife has put it in the media, you alone, you, not even the governor, can just pick that in she dropped on the media and go and investigate and confirm whether it is true or false. After that was
dropped, particularly the PhD result, after that was dropped, we could probably do a fact check right now.
Yes.
It was stated that the Atlantic International University, Hawaii, in the US, that was responsible for issuing that certificate for her, was not an approved university. It's an unapproved university.
Has the university come out to debunk the certificate they issued her?
It's an unapproved university. They would not do that. Have you forgotten the research that was carried out where a lot of people were issued results from Benin Republic? The institution never came out to debunk that their school was unapproved or unauthorized. They issued that They issued that certificate. And if you are claiming that, did INEC not see it after that was being issued? Did INEC not also see that of the minister before he was in office? He stayed in office for 2 years before it was found out that his result or the result that he presented was false. That means, are you saying INEC is faulty?
See, ministerial is different from
they are all political offices.
Electoral contest.
They are all political
in electoral
offices.
Contest, you have many enemies eyeing at your seat. Ministerial, it is the onus is only on the president to appoint whoever he wants as a minister. It's not a contest. But in this one, it's a contest. If I'm running an election with you and you don't want me to win, you can go and dig my certificate, dig my history. So all these elections that Uche Ekwenyife has contested and won, all these opponents that she has been contesting with never dig the certificate until he reached Soludo's tenure.
Put your best
See,
foot
I'm coming. The issue is that Soludo and APGA are always using propaganda against. So is it only Uche Ekwenyife that Soludo has said has fake certificate?
You know, Mr.
He has equally accused my candidate. You know, has equally the other just day before yesterday.
You know why
he said
I have
that
a
Peter
problem?
Obi. Just day before yesterday, he said that Peter Obi has the list of certificates among all the people that have
you know why I have a problem.
This is a man that has always come out to rubbish all the Anambra best.
This morning, Mr. Okoye,
yes.
is because you try to separate APGA and Soludo at will when it pleases you. Now, just now, we made mention of the fact that Soludo is corrupt because his party was paying 30. Hold
you
on.
are the one saying Soludo is corrupt.
We said
you
that.
Are the one saying
we said Soludo is corrupt. His party was paying 30,000 naira for votes, which you confirmed here to us. Now, shortly after, I think last week, it was also on the news that he was willing to give a certain amount of money and millions to whoever came out to vote as a guise to encourage voter apathy. And then you said is Soludo APGA. Hold on. You said is Soludo APGA. You separated Soludo from APGA. But right now, Soludo and ANAMBRA is the same thing.
Whenever you accuse people, whenever you accuse people of stealing, you have to prove it beyond reasonable doubt.
But you can't prove that ANAMBRA falsified those reports.
Whenever you accuse people,
that.
whenever you accuse people of corrupt, you will also have evidence to come and defend it. So for some of these things we are saying, no evidence to adduce to them. Right, let us leave it at that.
Let's not ask the question, basically. Now you said ABGA, falsified, or ABGA basically they are, playing the propaganda game, as against APC. What members of ABGA are actually playing this propaganda game against the APC?
Since you are so sure
we have the head of their propaganda machinery, Mazio Parejimofo, followed by Adichie Ezichukwu. Go and Google these two names on Facebook or on, you will see what they normally write. They don't even do this in only to the people running an election. They have rubbish P2B. They have rubbished Val Ojibo. They have rubbished what's the name of the YPP candidate. They've rubbished even George Moalo of Labour Party. This is not only about APC and APGA. They go about tarnishing people's image. It's me to be running for governorship. So but you see these people I mentioned now, every day on their social media handle, attacking these personalities. So are they running for governorship?
So you're saying both of them are the people that
I can say it boldly that both of them are the people dishing out all this propaganda. See, everything will end on December, on November 8th.
Under the platform
everybody
of ABGA,
will just go
these
home
both names you mentioned are the ones who are getting under the platform
and I can defend it anywhere.
Now, severally, Dr. Okoye, you have, as much as possible, put the blame, to ABGA. Every point in time we ask a question regarding the APC candidate or the APC as a party, you always blame ABGA. Take, for instance, if APC wins the election and it is time to perform, will your principal continue to blame ABGA or Soludo for poor performance?
Or what they met in
office and not take responsibility for what he should do if he becomes the governor of Anambra State? Because from everything you said so far, it looks like you're going to be playing the defense game if eventually you come into power.
Absolutely.
See, leadership equally rests on the individual manning the office. And I've told you here how my candidate, Nicholas Okachukwu, has performed well in the private sector. We will judge him by what he has done in the private sector. And it is in that judgment that we are asking him to come and run, because we have seen the track record. Soludo, like I said earlier, has no track record in the private sector. So you cannot actually say that, because it is how you manage yourself, for instance. How you take, if you're not taking care of yourself and you are telling me you are going to take care of me,
if you are also only taking care of yourself and not taking care of other people.
I'm coming. So now, this is a man who has done it here, and we expect him to do it better the other side.
How many public offices has your principal occupied?
He has occupied 2 public offices as far as I'm concerned. My principal was a former local government chairman. He was a former House of Rep member. But you can see I am de-emphasizing these 2 things since I've been in this studio. I've been de-emphasizing it because of the fact that I cannot actually tell you boldly that we can only use experience of those who have once held 1 or 2 public offices to judge them in their future.
What was his achievement on Anambra?
It is not what we have to come here and talk.
Where you can mention 1 or 2 very quickly.
No, I cannot, because I told you
also need to judge him based on the public performance.
I am. Since I entered this studio, I'm coming. Since I entered this studio, I have refused to talk about that aspect. And that's I'm emphasizing on private sector. I cannot answer that. You can't tell me what to answer.
So you can't answer that.
You cannot tell me what to answer.
So are you saying that?
No. You cannot tell me what to answer.
He did not do anything for the Anambra people.
That is not what I told you.
So what are you saying?
You cannot tell me what to answer, Victor, please.
It's a question we ask.
Please, I will not.
So
I will not.
Did he do anything for Anambra people?
I will not. He did, but I will not answer it.
But you have been talking about what Soludo did.
I will not.
But you have been talking about what
Soludo is public service. Soludo, I am emphasizing on private sector achievement.
That is his personal business.
Leave it at that for me.
No, we can't leave it at that for you.
No. You can't force words out of my mouth.
We're not forcing words out of your mouth.
Victor, leave it at that.
Because we are asking a question.
Victor, please leave this thing at this.
We are going to leave it at that.
Please.
But just to clarify, we're asking a question based on public office. and your principal is contesting for a public office, not a private
office.
He's not wanting to become the president of the governor of his company.
If you finish talking, you answer yourself. I will not answer you.
But that's the truth.
Doctor,
No, I will not answer you.
Let's
and what kind
here.
of person you can't force words out of his mouth?
Well, it just goes to show that you choose what you want to say, and I've said it time and again before we got into this conversation. You choose what you want to say, and you decide what is suiting to you at every time. At one point, it is okay to merge both Soludo and ABGA together, and at another point, it is very inconvenient for you. You separate both ABGA and Soludo. So you see, at least we have our answers, and we know exactly what it is that we're talking about right here. But I think this is where we are going to wrap up the conversation. Thank you so much, Mr. Okoye, for joining us on the show. It was quite a delight, absolute delight having you here with us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Okoye.
My pleasure.
Of course, we've been having conversation with Dr. Francis Okoye, public affairs analyst, member of the APC National Campaign Council for the Anambra Governorship Election 2025. And of course, come Saturday, the Anambrarians will be electing their new governor. Who will it be? Let's keep our fingers crossed to see who INEC is going to announce as the governor for the 2025 governorship election.
And it's very important to note that trajectory is trajectory. And I just thought to put that out there. What people have done before when they occupy political offices should set the antecedents for what they will do. So if you are choosing a person right now to occupy the office and you want to deliberately turn a blind eye to what they had done in the past, I think that would just possibly be shadow boxing, and I don't think that's what we want to be like a reflection of what our political system here is in Nigeria. But I think that's pretty much all that I have to say on the show today. That
being said, we're going to keep you updated on the elections as they unfold, talking about the Anambra governorship election, the readiness of INEC, the readiness of the candidates, and the voter apathy of the Anambra people. We're going to be right here in the studio to give you updates of the election as they unfold. With that being said, this is where we're going to end the conversation this morning. Do remember that you can follow us across all our social media pages, across all platforms at Rapid TV, and you can rewatch all our episodes using our YouTube platform at Official Rapid TV. And anywhere in the world you go, you can always watch us live using our website www.arabianradiotv.com. My name is Victor Arke.
And my name is Martha Alu. I will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
It's decision time in Anambra State.